Greetings all. Vanna here for the Water Signs weekly message. Oh, that's interesting. Knight of Wands, Seven of Cups in reverse, and Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, I love this. So I feel like my water signs are making a very powerful decision that most people are not going to understand. And I love this so much for you. Because not only is the planetary body of Pluto, the planet of transformation, rebirth, and hidden truths coming out for you, you also have Aries, the first of the zodiac signs, like another indicator of a brand new journey, a brand new adventure. And you have Begin that came out for the Cancers. Only trusting that now is a good time as any to pay attention to that little whisper inside your heart. It is begging you to take the first steps, my dear. Begging you to please, beautiful one, remember, it is always the right time to start. And I do feel like that. Like, that's one thing about this Nine of Pentacles is that so much work had gone into this previous situation. A lot of hyperfixation on the planning of it. And it was so difficult to do with so many other obstacles, so many other things to be involved and be considered in that situation. It's like when you're planning a vacation or a camping trip. Camping trip is a good example. You have so much that you have to prep. You have to prep your shelter. You have to prep how you're going to be sleeping. You have to prep your protections from if you're going in wildlife or if you're going to be surrounded by people. You'll still need protections. You have to get your food. You have to get how you're going to get there, how you're going to keep yourself safe, secure, warm, all of these other things. And it was exhausting to you to try and keep everything coordinated and everything together when in truth something had to be removed from the plate. Something had to be removed from the situation. Like, there is just too much going on. And like, I'm literally seeing the platter and everything is trying to fall off of it, but because of the saran wrap or whatever it is that is clinging to all of these things, it's not letting it fall apart the way that it needs to. And things do need to fall apart right now. It will also be part of how resourceful you are, especially with Pisces card coming out here. If you know you could only succeed, that there is no such thing as failure, that you could only grow, that you can only redirect, what would you do? How resourceful can you be right now, knowing and feeling and having that faith that you have absolutely everything that you can handle right now? Because that's one thing. It's like, yes, we want so much when it comes to our manifestations, but if you have not developed the mindset, mentality, or strengths to handle that situation, Spirit will not bring that in for you. If it is not in your greatest and highest good to experience that situation, Spirit will not bring that for you. They give you everything that you can handle right now. And if that is not clear, you need to look around your life and see what can you give attention to and what needs to be released. Because there is absolutely something that needs to be released. These Seven of Cups in reverse, to me, is very clear that there is something about this current situation that can no longer be. I'm looking back at the Pluto's planetary bodies and I see the roots of plants and vegetables. Pluto rules the roots of plants and vegetables. Okay, that's one of Google's AI overview things, but I do feel like having those root vegetables will be very important for you to detoxify your body, because you don't realize how much of your energetic field is made up of what you consume physically and through your everyday life. So often we underestimate the power of rest. When our hearts are heavy and our minds cannot quiet, it is often a sign that we are doing too much, and we are pushing too hard, thinking too far. And the concept of more is not always better. For our souls, sometimes the real power in abundance is the power of less. And I love that as I read that as I started shuffling and then got beauty sleep from the Oracle decks. You have been in too much stress, too much stimuli, too much responsibility. You have time coming out too often it feels as though hours turn into days, days turn into months, and months turn into years. And suddenly our lives have passed in the blink of an eye. But perhaps there is a reality in which we don't think of time as something separate of us. What if, in fact, time was a product of us? What if, then, it is time that originates from us and not the other way around? And when we start to realize that we are one with time is when the magic happens. I find that interesting because time has felt very strange since November started. I know that we're all in hesitancy waiting for the results of the elections to come in, but also like yesterday felt like a ridiculously long day. Like it was 2 o'clock and I had already gotten so much done. I felt like it should be 6 and I'm about to have to start making dinner, but no, it's 2 o'clock and right now it's 11:11 and it feels like it should be much later in my day, but it's not. And so time coming out here for you while so much is shifting is a very interesting indicator that our perceptions of reality and desired reality are changing so very much. Spirit, what can we give to the water signs as a blessing of encouragement? Thank you. Murky waters, upside down in reverse, and emotional baggage. So things that were unclear are coming to life. Things that were turned upside down are restabilizing and making it clear to you where it stands with you. I don't want to make anyone upset when I say this, but I feel like you're going to learn very quickly where you stand with the people in your life. When it is you need something, they are not there in the way that you need them, or they always expect and demand that you come in to their shit show and correct it all. I feel like a lot of my water signs out there have been in a very controlled energy where someone was trying to make you into what they needed you to be. And I keep seeing this Aries energy here and how so many people would say you're being a bitch, you're being rude, you're being angry, when you are just finally standing up for yourself. When you are finally saying, no, if you want this so badly, you're going to figure out a way to make it yourself. Because I am done doing all of this for you. I am like, you did all of this work for this land and someone else took credit for it. And so when you stopped giving the land your work, your energy, it fell apart because it was nothing without you. And this led you to feel very, very taken advantage of. Like, no one saw you for anything other than your role. No one saw you for anything other than what you provided for people. And this left a murky image in yourself. Those murky waters of how you saw yourself. It was all twisted around because it was warped by what other people were telling you you had to do, what other people were telling you you had to be. And that made your mentality start to spiral your manifestations. Best case scenario in the reverse definitely shows me that my water signs have not had the best awareness is the word that I want to say. And I don't want to upset anyone when I say this because this world has been very distracting. There are a lot of distractions. So I don't tell you this to say you've been fucking up and ruined your life. I tell you this to say you can so very easily change how you see the situation. Don't look for the worst thing that could happen. State what is the best thing that could happen. What is the best thing that could happen to me when I walk out of my door today? What is the best thing that could happen to me at the grocery store? Even if it's just someone grabs the thing for you that you couldn't reach. That was a blessing. Recognize that, and more will show up in your life. Just as you know more and more bad things show up when you recognize that. Plant that seed of that life that you want, because so much is growing up and around you. And you are being asked to be resourceful with the things that you have, because so much is about to change.